claiming that the female gaze, that
Mm-hmm.
is a GAZE, not the gaze like homosexual, doesn't exist. She keeps showing these images of all these fashion magazines, Vogue, Nylon, okay, Glamour. It's got all these like women in fashion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No man is buying any of this shit. What?
No.
How could you have an entire conversation that there's no female gaze and it's all like males consuming this content, and you show a bunch of content that no man is consuming whatsoever? It's just women consuming it.
Right. Well,
What? It even
the
says,
argument is that you're teaching women this is how you get the male gaze. So it's women teaching women to attract the male gaze.
oh yeah. Well, women might think that, but they're stupid.
Well, I know I mean, you're going to get the male gaze no matter what. I mean, you don't have to do all this makeup and shit.
I don't even buy that. Guys are not attracted to high fashion. No guy is attracted to high fashion. No straight man is attracted to high fashion or
In a
dark
lot of
hair.
her videos, she is out of focus, and I wonder if that's deliberate because she wants to
Mm,
avoid the male gaze.
gays.
And every time she has a way of pronouncing gays as if she's talking about gay people. The
Homosexuals.
gays, yeah, exactly.
Yes. I was
She
gonna say
keeps
because
talking about the male gays, and I'm like, yeah, what about those male gays? Those
the
male
sec
gays, we need to do something about these
we
male
gotta do
gays.
something about the male gays.
Objectify, uh, ob-
We need to purge the
objectifying all of us. Yeah.
when she's talking about purging the male gaze, I'm like, whoa, lady, calm down. Okay, why is this homophobia allowed on
I don't
YouTube?
like that kind of objectification because
No,
it's usually aimed at me. I'm the one
exactly.
they're objectifying.
True. Yes, this so the second video that we're going to watch of hers today is all about the female gaze and her claiming that the female gaze, that
Mm-hmm.
is a GAZE, not the gaze like homosexual, doesn't exist. So this is channel called Final Girl Digital. It's very interesting. I was unaware of this till Adam sent me this video.
A woman must continually watch herself. She is almost continually accompanied by her own image of herself while she is walking across a room or while she is weeping at the death of her father. She can scarcely avoid envisioning herself walking or weeping. From earliest childhood she has been taught and persuaded to survey herself continually. And so she comes to consider the surveyor and the surveyed within her as the
Wait, how is that? This is the same thing for guys though. This is the same thing for fucking everyone. Guys walk around like, do I look cool? Are there women watching me? To keep up my like everyone's looking around to like thinks everyone's watching them at all fucking time. Even though most time no one's fucking watching you ever. And everyone
I,
just has their own head in their own fucking shit, right?
Look, my experience is women have zero situational awareness at any given time.
Well,
Okay.
for safety reasons, sometimes it seems that way.
They fucking have no
Right.
idea who's looking at them, where,
Right.
or anything. Yeah.
Right.
So this seems like complete bullshit to me.
Right. Well, they'll
Maybe women are told to be careful, but they rarely do.
right. Right. I'd say it runs the gambit. I've known women who are very hyper like neurotic about safety and always looking
Mhm.
around. I know women that are like completely oblivious to the world around them at all times.
Right.
But I would
Yeah.
say the same thing is true of guys. I don't think it's
It's
like a sex
true.
thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys that are oblivious to everything too. So I just think most people, especially when it comes to like wanting to look good, they're just paranoid,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
thinking like, oh, people are going to be looking at me in public. But most people are not looking at you in public and don't really care.
Women are more aware of their appearance, and I think it's because they know men are more visual than women.
Yes,
I think men take advantage of the fact that women are less visual
but
and really just are kind of sloppy sometimes because of that.
it's it's so interesting because the other video that we're going to watch a little bit of after this, where she talks about the woman is talking about female smut. This is part of what she talks about. She's like, a lot of like these porn stories, this is not something that appeals to most men because most men are visual creatures.
Of
Men
course.
watch visual porn. They don't read it, right? But for women, they have a completely different thing that necessarily turns them on. They're more turned on about like the concept of this story or the emotional roller coaster of the situation as opposed to just watching, the visual spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
And and you're right, and that's a great point too. And that's why there is this difference in male and female behavior, even though obviously, women like to look at a hot guy and all this other stuff. But since men are so much more visual than women, women gussy up a
Yeah,
lot
they
more than
do.
men
They
do.
know. Men are
Yeah,
watching. If you want to be a
right,
player, you got to play to their wants and desires.
right, right.
The two consistent yet always distinct elements of her identity as a woman. She has to survey everything she is and everything she does because how she appears to others, and ultimately how she appears to men, is of crucial importance for what is normally thought of as the success of her life. Her own sense of being in herself is supplanted by a sense of being appreciated as herself by another. So this is why the gendered parallel dubbed the female gaze cannot and does not exist, as it does not embody the systemic dissonance in power. Men are not and cannot.
So she doesn't say it's because women are looking at men for non-visual reasons. She's just saying it's because systemic power. But this is the go-to bullshit excuse for all the entirety of every alt-left ideology is everything exists one-sidedly. We can be as bigoted in the ideology as possible because of systemic power, even though by their own definition, the world we live in, at least in the West, is completely reversed. 100%. The fact that men are still attacked for looking at or feel some amount of shame for looking at pornography, while women have openly portray or profess love of their flavor of pornography through the smut novels, should show you that the systemic power imbalance has completely done a 180 in the other direction.
Yeah.
So that means there's no male gaze anymore, ladies. There's only a female gaze. Get out of here.
To be influenced by a so-called female gaze because they have not been socially positioned within culture as objects to be looked at. To compare any type of aesthetic male performance to
So you have to be an object. You have to be, the gaze involves objectification,
Mm-hmm.
and women don't never do this. Well, what if she's looking at your wallet though? Is that objectification?
In the K-pop Demon
What if
Hunter
she's
anime,
looking at your car? What if you got a nice car and she's
right?
like, "Ooh, look at that car."
In the K-pop Demon Hunter, when the
Hmm.
girl looks at the guy's
And
abs
does he abs?
and has the ab eyeballs,
Totally
okay,
objectification.
right? Is
Yeah.
that objectification? Is that the female gaze or no? Is
Hmm.
that
100% female gaze.
right?
There's plenty of objectification that goes on.
There's literally a part in the movie where so the plot of the movie, just so you know, I'm gonna just explain the plot of the movie very quickly, is that there's three girls and they're in a K-pop band, and
Hmm.
but they have to fight demons, and like music has I forget exactly the plot, the significance is the girls have to like be popular and use music to fight the demons, but they also like just kill them with like knives and shit, okay, and magic. And so the evil demons decide to use a evil demonic K-pop boy band to fight the K-pop girl band. Okay.
Yes. It's
And
brilliant.
so, right. And so the K-pop boy band demons all take human forms that look like super hot. And so one of them, there's like a running joke where he's always wearing a shirt that like exposes his washboard abs. And so when the scene happens, the girls are watching his abs and their eyes turn into corn because it looks like the little ab shape. And then it starts popping into popcorn, which they start eating as they watch the abs
Hmm.
approach them
Yeah.
in the distance.
What does
Okay.
that popcorn symbolize?
So I'm being told that there's no female gaze whatsoever, even though a girl's literally eating popcorn abs that are popping out of her eyeballs because she's so fucking horny for a K-pop demon boy.
Right. Popcorn is ejaculating from her eyeballs.
Yes. Yes.
aesthetic feminine performance would be inaccurate because the visual nature of masculinity is not intrinsically tied to a man's value and worth in the same way feminine performance is. This is why the
So wait, hold on. Let me now I'm not gonna play this because you don't want there's like music and stuff. I'm gonna just scrub through it just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, you need to see this scene. Okay. Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
so here, look, you got the hot K-boy demons, okay? and they're coming, and they're like, "Oh, look, he's stretching. Oh, his button popped." This is her watching the abs. Okay, see, she's got the corn eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and then they start eating. The corn pops out of her eyes in the popcorn, and it's so hot that the other girl starts eating it from a bowl. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just so you understand. And I'm being told that there's no female gaze here whatsoever.
Wow.
No female gaze. Doesn't exist.
Such objectification.
I know. So
This is
this
sick.
objectification of men. All right.
They're teaching this to young girls.
I know.
This is targeted at young women
Isn't this horrible?
who are
It's
just going to be
objectification.
objectifying all
Yes.
of the boys in their class.
This is the most watched thing on the entirety of Netflix.
Think of all the fat kids who don't have washboard abs
Right.
in like the 5th grade who are going to be
Yes.
super fucking chapped about this.
Yes.
Who are going to kill themselves because they'll never be able to live up to this expectation of having washboard abs.
Why is there not a conversation? There's always a conversation about the unrealistic beauty standards for women, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's why you can't have attractive women and things. I have not heard anyone complain about the unrealistic beauty standards for men whatsoever in
not at all.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
You got to be 6 foot and have a washboard abs. Otherwise, you're never going to you're never going to touch a boob in your entire life.
And you have to be you have to be a good singer.
Spot. You found the ab spot.
Yes. And you have to be an amazing singer, and you have to be a demon. Because we all know that like women really value being a monster.
Well, it's easy to be a demon. That's the easy part.
There you go. Being a literal demon, that's the easiest part, yes.
I love that they made the connection to popcorn. Oh, look, she's in love.
Yes. There you go. Just look like one of these guys. Like an anime hot boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where your shoulders are 4 times as wide as your hips.
Yeah, the perfect Dorito body, yes.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. God, it is just so insane. I see an article about this being the most viewed thing on Netflix, and then female gaze doesn't exist, everybody. Okay.
For more,
it's the patriarchy that's tricking women into liking that.
Mm-hmm. Internalized misogyny.
I would think if there really was a patriarchy, it would trick women into thinking, wouldn't it like be a goal to trick women into being subservient and like slobby guys that don't try very hard?
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like why would the patriarchy be tricking women into liking hot K-pop buff K-pop demon hunters?
Yeah, rich, buff K-pop famous demons. People.
Yes, right.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.
Trick them into wanting schlubby nobodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which would keep the schlubby
with nothing.
Right, because what destroys society is when there's a critical mass of slubby nobodies who are mad that they don't have women and they burn everything down.
I know.
This is why the modeling industry is one of the only industries where women out-earn men on such a large scale, and why the demand for male models is significantly lower. Men do...
Wait.
This is...
Who's... What? Okay. So, wait.
This is why the...
She keeps showing these images of all these fashion magazines. Vogue, Nylon, okay, Glamour. It's got all these like women in fashion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No man is buying any of this shit.
No.
What? How could you have an entire conversation that there's no female gaze and it's all like males consuming this content, and you show a bunch of content that no man is consuming whatsoever? It's just women consuming it.
Right. Well,
the
argument is that you're teaching women this is how you get the male gaze. So it's women teaching women to attract the male gaze.
Oh yeah. Well, women might think that, but they're stupid.
Well, I know you're going to get the male gaze no matter what. I mean, you don't have to do all this makeup and shit.
I don't even buy that. Guys are not attracted to high fashion. No guy is attracted to high fashion. No straight man is attracted to high fashion.
It's like the downside. It's a con.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of tutorials that they have.
She's a woman. That's good.
Right. There are tutorials where women do these like crazy things with makeup to basically like trick
Mhm.
catfish people to make themselves actually look more attractive. But all this shit, this is not that. Guys don't care about this.
Right.
Modeling industry is one of the only industries where women out earn men on such a large scale and why the demand for male models is significantly lower. Men do not perform for a female gaze, but rather are also influenced by the gaze as Berger defines it. Because within a patriarchal framework, men are also taught to value themselves not through the lens of feminine desire, but to be validated firstly by other men. Where a man's worth is defined primarily by capital, a woman's is defined by her appearance, thus reinforcing their social positions as masculine consumer and feminine consumed. Part 2.
Both men and women, I think, will seek validation from their friend group as a means of testing before seeking validation from strangers, especially if it's a stranger of the opposite sex. It's not correct to just cast it as like, whoa, the men are only seeking, validation from other men because they're just doing that to see as a test to be like, okay, well, is like a woman gonna like this? Even though often what men and women don't understand is that what men and women find attractive or might think the other finds attractive is not actually they don't really care about.
Yeah.
The
Well,
female
and I
gaze.
think people do innately find certain things attractive, just, and who knows where
Yes,
it
of
comes
course.
from, biology or experience.
Right.
I just also the attractiveness is, I don't know how you can't qualify that as some sort of property, right? We all have a certain attractiveness level that we
Hmm.
understand as a resource that we can exploit to some extent.
Yeah, I
So
don't think most people
just to
think about it that
say,
way.
like, women, they don't have any resources. Their only resource is their beauty,
Well, it's
or
interesting
it's not really a
because
resource to frame it.
it's interesting because then again, this is sort of the feminist framing of everything. Because you could just as easily say, well, how is it fair that women are essentially able to leverage their attractiveness as a resource to gain things in society in a way that most men can't ever do?
Right. Well, I do think men can leverage their attractiveness to gain things in society in the same way, but
I think it's much harder.
yeah.
It's
Well,
much
it
harder. You
depends.
have to be a lot more attractive as a man to really get to really
Right.
do, to do that.
Yeah, there is a uneven discrepancy, obviously,
There's a much
but
yes, which is what everyone complains about on the dating apps with
but
the
the
quote top men.
to say men's value is based in capital and women's value is not, is based in appearance. I mean, appearance is a type of capital.
Right. Well, she just means money,
Yeah.
but resource Alec.
I mean, you can't argue for whiteness as a property and not think of attractiveness as a
Sure,
property, obviously.
sure. The weird part of radical feminism, and I think why radical feminism went off the rails when this idea of there being no biological behavioral difference between men and women on average, and also because I think a lot of it was written by women who were very angry at men or were butch lesbians, is I would think a healthy form of feminism would say, yes, men and women on average are different, and yes, they have some different personality traits and different things that they like. And so, as a society, we should make sure that society can positively view things that women like and things that men like, both in a positive way.
Hmm.
And to say, like, okay, female traits, obviously, I'm only talking about positive traits, but like female traits, like nurturing and things, is just as valuable as like a male, is like a stereotypically masculine trait. So, stereotypically female traits can be just as valuable as stereotypically masculine traits. That's how I think like a true feminist society or a true feminist should be advocating for, to value female traits. The problem is that with a lot of radical feminism and the concept of gender all being performative and all this other nonsense, is that since they think that there is no inherent personality difference, no inherent behavioral difference between men and women, then and then they package that into the conspiracy that there's a patriarchy and men just subjugating women, what that leads you to believe automatically is that traits that are, quote, feminine or female coded must be therefore negative or bad and should be cast aside. And so that the true liberation for women is not to embrace female traits and for society to respect it. No, the true way for women to be liberated is to basically copy and become men and to do male traits. And this is why you get these weird ideas where, like, oh, it's very liberating for a woman to sleep with 100 guys. It's very
Right.
liberating for a woman to, not have
'Cause
children
that's what
and
a
to
man would
spend.
do.
Right, because that's what a man would do. And it'd be very liberating for a woman to spend all her time, instead of building family, working at a job just to try to make the big bucks,
Because
right?
that's what a man would do.
Because that's what a man would do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just so that idea of just that gender is all performative, there's nothing biological, totally derailed feminism and put it down this dark pathway.
Yeah, it'd be great if we would embrace that which is good in women and that which
Yes.
is good in men.
Right.
Hi! You just listened to a clip from the Sitch Adam Show. Most of the time we stream Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we stream during the week. Come join us. You guys are going to love it. It'll be great.